Hello, flower friends. This is Jen, and you are listening to the Floral Hustle podcast. On this week's episode, as in the month of October, we are talking all things 100K businesses or owning a six-figure floral business. And today we're going to talk about the mindset for that. And in the 5-day challenge that is going to be in the month of October, which I would be so excited if you would head on over, because it's October 21st through the 25th, we are going to lay out a roadmap, and one of those critical components is having the mindset to support you attracting that $100,000 business. And honestly, like a lot of times when I meet someone in a coaching situation or another business owner, and I feel this scarcity mindset, I'm pretty positive that they don't have a business that is getting them probably to where they want. And they're often frustrated because they're not there, but they don't have the mindset to support that. And a lot of times, honestly, I know we can blame a lot of stuff on our parents, but how we grow up and the mindset that we're around when we grow up is often transformative to going forward. But honestly, it can change. Your mindset can change. If you grew up poor, that does not mean that you are stuck in being poor. If you grow up that your mom, like my mom was an immense couponer. We grew up very, very poor. My dad did everything in his life to avoid child support. My mom worked her butt off to support us. Like, we struggled. And I heard things like, that's expensive, we can't afford that. All of those things, like all growing up, that was very ingrained in our culture of our house. And that is frankly not true anymore. I believe money is abundant. I believe that I deserve more money. I am worth money. I am worth what people pay me because I add value. My work is beautiful. Like, all of this mindset shift, instead of like, I better do this cheaply because I don't want this money to go away. I know that if somebody wants to pay me my worth, then I want to work with them. If they don't see my worth, then I don't want to work with them. And that is a big shift that has taken a long time, because my mindset before was complete scarcity. And I set up my business to cater to scarcity mindset clients, not abundant mindset clients. There were words like budget, affordable, cheap, like I had just like all these words that like were littered with attracting a low budget client all over my website, all over my anything. And like, that's how my consultations like went. And that is how so much of my business was, because I thought that I want to make this difference. I want people to have the wedding of their dreams, and I want to make absolutely no money doing it. And like, was my reality for a long time. And I just had this, for one, when I always, as an adult, made good money. And I actually often, it's so funny because I was the only one, like my mom had her college degree. My sister has her doctorate, has went to so much school, like loves going to school. But I've always made a good amount of money, normally like over 100, if not more, as an employee with the different jobs that I've had in my life. And so like I had always like made money. So I never, as an adult, it was a shift because I wasn't living in that poverty that we did when I was little, like with, having to like worry about money so much. There was so much worry that I didn't have that. And so that's something definitely I am making sure that I teach my children. Like, we try not to say that's expensive. It is tied to the value of that item. That value of that item might not be worth what they're charging. but it's not expensive because we can afford it because we work hard. It was such an interesting dynamic. And I talk about this as a mom because I think that I want to teach my children, and I hope you want to teach your children if you have children or like people around you that like money is abundant, that they can go and get what they want. Everything is available to them. And especially as a mom of a special needs kiddo, like I want my daughter to know that like she is limitless. And it was funny because we're going through this dynamic right now of a school instrument. And at school, of course, we live in an area that there are a lot of like lower budget households and they have school instruments. And they, because they run out of those instruments, they have you pick a first, second, and third. And Bella, my daughter, she's so sweet because she also doesn't ever want to put pressure on like, that's expensive. She understands cost, but I'm like, she's like, Mom, I can do the flute. It's fine. I was like, no, if you want, we get what we want. We work hard to get what we want. And if Bella deserves, she wants to play the violin, which I'm so excited about that, by the way. I mean, it's going to be horrible if you know what I'm saying, if you're a mom, but I'm excited about it because I would love to play the violin. And I would love that experience for her. I would love for her to be able to say when she's my age that I played the violin. Like all of those feelings like make me even more committed to it. But whatever it is, it's not too expensive because money is abundant. We're going to figure it out. And Bella, if you want a violin, we're going to figure that out. And if they run out of it, we're not going to go to our second choice because we are not second choice people. We get what we want. That is like the mindset that I want them to have because I want them to work harder. I want them to push themselves to be the people they want and not settle. Like my husband, he was just like, we don't settle. And I don't want you to settle in your business. And I don't want you to settle for clients that don't have budgets. And if you have this aura of scarcity, like I did, that I even though I made money, I was just like wanting to make everything so cheap because that was the culture I grew up in. And I was thinking that my value was tied to delivering all these people things that were way under. I literally for a long time ran my business model that they could buy everything at wholesale and they just paid me labor to put them together. But I never estimated the labor high enough for what it was. And it was a ridiculous labor amount. So like, because my business had that culture, I changed my business name. I completely changed because I was like, why am I doing this? I deserve to make money. I had this like moment, especially after I met my husband, I had a lot of moments. He's like, you are not getting paid your worth. Your work is so beautiful. It's worth more than this. Why are you doing this? And then especially when I had children, there was a shift because I'm like, I'm not going to be going to do something and make no money and be away from my children. And I'm not going to do something and not be able to have time to be myself and not have time to be with my husband, like not have time to go. I was so busy and I was working full time that like I felt like I was the candle that was burning on both ends and like, what the hell am I doing? And so I don't want that for you. I want you to be like, I deserve money. Money is abundant. You just have this mindset that, your business and you are worth it. It's not a risk. It's an opportunity. And that same thing comes with investing in yourself. And I've talked about this a lot on the podcast because honestly, I invest. I love that Instagram reel that says, like, what's the most expensive thing that you own? And the person's like, it's my brain. My brain is the most expensive thing I own, hands down, because I've invested, I bet you like $75,000 in personal development, coaching, courses, whatever it is. Like I've gone all in because my brain is my biggest asset. And every time I learn a new skill, every time I learn a new mindset shift, and anytime any personal growth happens, I've always made more money. And every year it's just gone up. So you have that same power. Don't be scared of investing in yourself. Don't be scared and knowing that you are worth it, worth what you're charging. You dictate your value, not somebody else. All right. The next part is goal oriented thinking and the importance of really setting clear, actionable goals. And this is one thing that I do in the mastermind, the Floral CEO mastermind. It is talking about whenever somebody's saying, I want to do this. Okay, that sounds big. Let's break it down into something digestible. I know you want to do a new website, or I know you need to finish your taxes. Like, what is one thing in the next week? Because we have accountability items every week. One thing that you could do that would help propel you forward and chip away at this. I'm a big Trello person. So, like, I love using Trello boards to break very big problems, very big projects into bite sized pieces. Everything, when it's bite sized, is way more digestible. And goals are definitely need to be digestible. Me going and saying 2 years ago that I want to be X amount of weight, or I want to be doing this, or I want to do whatever, like me just saying some really abstract, I want to be more fit. Well, what does that mean to you? I want to be healthier. What does that mean to you? What is an actionable goal that, okay, I also am a big stair step goals person. My husband is a balls to the wall. Like, you're going to just say, I'm going to, make $250,000 or whatever, like the goal is. And I'm like, why don't we plan for this thing is going to be $100,000 or this thing is going to be this. I love having stair step goals that are actionable, that I can push myself to the next time I'm doing that. I'm like increasing it a little bit. So I feel like it's attainable. I love attainable goals. And having attainable goals that are bite sized is so critical. We're going to be talking about that in the 100K challenge. So if you haven't signed up yet, go to thefloralhustle.com/100K. All right. Next one is you also have to be resilient and adaptable. I personally, I love working because I am working in my purpose. I don't mind if for some reason something goes wrong that I'm having to work harder this week. Or I don't mind like if something's super inspiring, like going, you know what, I want this. And so I know I'm going to work hard that week, but it doesn't matter because I want this. And having that resiliency when things go wrong, or especially with cultural weddings, I'm telling you, like, things go sideways all the time. The stage isn't the right size, or the something with the structure is weird. There's just always something that is just like a kink. And you know what? I am calm as a cucumber. It is what it is. Me cr- freaking out is not going to be helpful. It's not going to make the situation better. So it's best to just move forward, and that's it. It's that easy. Like, I don't have to freak out. If you have that resiliency to just like, that's one of my husband's favorite things about me is that my peace. I'm very calm no matter what. Like, kids bleeding for whatever reason. Great. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened, buddy. Let me take a look at it. Okay. You know what I think might make this better? A Band-Aid. Why don't I get a Band-Aid? No, no, no. And then I'm just saying, okay, I know this is really hard. Let's take a deep breath. Like, that calmness, for one, in your business, like when things are freaking out, it's going to be easier for people to be around you. It's going to be easier for people to do business with you. You need to be resilient. You need to be adaptable because that is a key component of being successful. Another thing, you have to be confident in decision making. I know so many people that dissect the crap out of every single thing in their business, and they are where they're at because they keep dissecting it. Then they dissect investing in themselves. They dissect this whole wedding so that the wedding they quoted out, they've dissected it and spent so much time on it that is no longer profitable if they look at a hourly rate. Like, there is good enough. You don't need perfection. That is going to kill you. And that perfection often shows up in decision making. So picking the logo, picking the website template, picking if I want to get a course, picking if I want to how to respond to this wedding, a million things. Be confident in your decisions. You are the CEO in your business. Act accordingly. All right. Next, we were just talking about it. Focusing on growth and not perfection. Done is better than perfect. And perfection is an illusion. Things can always be better. I always look at something and go, oh, I wish this was different. I wish this would have been better. You can wish until you're blue in the face. But that perfection is exhausting. And I just know that better to be done than me spend a lot more time in making it perfect, because perfect is subjective and perfect is an illusion. All right. Delegating and letting go. I have gotten so much better than this, but it has taken a lot of work. Especially when I was younger, I was quite the spitfire. I was like, I can do this. I can do everything. I am capable. I'm like kicking ass and taking names, and I can do whatever you throw at me. But like, does it make sense for me to be washing my own buckets? No. Does it make sense for me to run up to the wholesaler to go get some crap when I could just have it delivered for $15? Does it make sense for me to be scheduling social media posts? Does it make sense for me to do my taxes completely? Absolutely not. I have people in place. Does it make sense for me to pull my own motives? Does it make sense as the CEO of my business? Is my time better spent on a higher dollar item? Because so many people love the opportunity to learn that are starting or whatever on some of these lower kind of output items. So I'm giving someone the opportunity to learn and to develop. And I am then free to open myself up to a higher value task. So what are you doing that are low value tasks that somebody might be very grateful to do? Because honestly, you will not scale your business to $100,000 without delegating something. Unless you are strung out. I know a florist that is totally busting her booty, like working all the time and doing it pretty much by herself, and has a business that's over this, but it's not sustainable. I know it's not sustainable because that was me. I did 125 weddings and worked full time and almost cracked. And I did that while taking care of a parent that was sick. I mean, like all the things. I've done 75 weddings, worked full time, and had a kiddo that I was bringing to speech 3 times a week. I've done all the things. It doesn't mean it was a good idea. You have to delegate things in your business or it is not long-term sustainable. Next, embracing fear and uncertainty. It is so easy to be afraid of what's going to happen, afraid if somebody's going to be happy, afraid of what this job is going to look like, afraid of putting yourself out there, afraid of showing up on social media. There's like fear constantly surrounding us. I choose to not be afraid because I know that I'm not for everybody. And if I'm not for someone, that's okay. And so anything I do, I'm not afraid because I go into it with that. I'm not for everybody. I know that there are people who I do think do things and have disingenuous intentions and are trying to cut the system or whatever. I know I don't have that. I love what I do. I have good intentions behind everything that I'm never trying to screw or take advantage of. I approach everything from a abundance, helpful mindset. that I want their event to be beautiful. If it's a coaching client, I want them to be successful. Like, I care so much about like my coaching clients' success, about your guys' success. I think about it all the time. That's a different type of thinking instead of some coaches that are like, how can I strategize to make more money out of these people? I want to strategize how to help these people truly be successful. That's what's important, not me figuring out how I can screw someone over to make whatever amount of money that's not worth it. So that's a difference. Really going into that, knowing you just have these intentions, because growth and comfort can coexist. Like every time that I've grown, every workshop that I've done that has sold out, like all of that growth is completely comfortable because I know that I am providing value. I am changing these people's lives, like teaching them skills that I know are so important. And the same thing in this 5-day challenge. Like I know what I'm adding so much value. And ask yourself that when you're doing something, you're like, does this feel in alignment? Am I adding value? Is my design, if you're doing a workshop, whatever it is, like if you're adding value, that's the most important component. All right. Then again, having a community and support system. I personally have been in 5 masterminds. So I have been in a mastermind, if you're not familiar with that, is a group of people who are usually led by one person that are all kind of common goal people. Like maybe they want to be business coaches, maybe they're florists, maybe they're, online entrepreneurs, whatever it is. I was in a creative business owners. I was in a coaches mastermind. I was in a mom business owner mastermind. So like whatever it is, you're in this group of people who are like-minded, wanting to do similar things. And this person who has done what you want is kind of leading the way and coaching you to success. So I think community is so important, but you don't always have to spend money for that community. That could be Facebook groups. The Floral Hustle Facebook group is a free group that you can join and is a great support mechanism for wherever you're at in your business. And honestly, I go in there every day, if not, if it's really a crazy week, every other day. And I go in there and look at your guys' questions and answer them because I want a space for people, because some of those Facebook groups, holy crap, those are judgment zones, not judgment free zones. Those are judgment zones. And I want a space for people to feel really good, really comfortable that they can go and ask questions. So it doesn't always need to be paid. I have definitely spent money to be in those spaces because I know how important it is. I know that me surrounding myself with a person who is doing the things or has done the things that I want to do is only going to elevate my thinking, is only going to give me strategies to get there. So like I see the value in investing and have done so much and learned. I look at every person that I have learned from and I have learned something. And that might be something small, or sometimes it's like, holy, how did I not see this? How did I, like, even in my installation workshops, people are like, I thought I had to do all this on site. It's like, absolutely not. We have the power to totally do this in our studio and not ruin our whole Saturday by doing installations on site. So, like, whatever it is, find yourself some community. I founded the Minnesota Floral Collective, which is a community of Minnesota-based florists that if people are looking for freelancers, if people are like, oh my God, I have all these roses left over. Hey, does anybody have cafe dahlias? Like mine didn't show up. Whatever it is, I created this system. Like you could do that in your market. And I put workshops together because we have no floral association that's really operating in the capacity of normal. They do like a state fair thing and that's really it. So like you have the power to create community in your market. Even my Facebook group, this podcast, like you can create community as long as you're surrounding yourself by people who are doing what you want or teaching what you the direction that you want to take your business and your mindset. Okay, celebrating small wins. And this is something that I often have struggled with. I'm always like one of those people like, I'm pushing myself, I'm pushing myself. And sometimes like when I step back, and actually what's funny is I did this last night and I was talking with I think I was talking with my husband, and we were talking about a situation where like this person, I am not a victim. I have had a lot of things happen in my life that are not great, but I am never a victim to it. I am never a victim to my circumstances. I'm never a victim to what is happening in the world. I am an empowered, action taking, problem solving woman who nothing can stop me. And that's just like me. And so when I look at even the last year, I've hosted 5 workshops. I've launched my first course. I launched and sold out a mastermind that I absolutely love running, that I dreamt about and manifested what exactly is happening. And I have a floral business that I'm getting to do really creative, fun stuff. I love being a mother. Like, my husband is the most supportive human that I've ever known of me. Like, all these things are in alignment. And I I know that I sometimes, like, in the moment when I've sold out my workshop and I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should have had 20 people. Maybe I should have had 12," whatever. I'm always like, or maybe I could have done this $25,000 wedding instead of this $20,000 wedding. Like, I'm always wanting to push myself. Oh, I only went to CrossFit, or I only worked out like 3 or 4 times a week. Whatever it is, like, I have a personality of push, but I've tried to start to celebrate more. So, let's just say you book your first wedding and you're like, "Oh my god, like, I wish all these things were different," because that's what I did. I wish all these things were better. I wish I would have been bigger. I wish I would have known more. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. Like, you booked a fucking wedding. I'm so proud of you. Like, that's what you need to, like, look at yourself in the mirror. I'm so proud of you. Like, you did it. You dreamt of doing a wedding and you are doing it. You booked it. You have a contract. This is huge. This is the start. This is the start of so many big things. And if you want to keep that momentum going with those big things, if you've booked your first wedding, or if you've booked 100 weddings, I don't care what it is, I would love for you to join the 100K challenge. Go to thefloralhustle.com/100K. Thank you so much for listening today, flower friends. I appreciate you. Here and being here has been so transformative in my life, and I love helping you guys every single day, and I appreciate you supporting me and listening to this podcast. If you have time, please go leave a review. I haven't seen any reviews lately, so I just want to throw it out there. Please go leave a review of the podcast. It means so much. It helps me get pushed into being seen by like-minded audience. So if you have time on Apple or whatever, I'm on all the things. Go and do a review. I would really appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening, flower friend, and you have an amazing flower-filled day.